while back, I started talking to my ex again. Someone I dated literally 10 years ago, and then again 3 years ago, and I only have a kid. And it shouldn't bother me, but our relationship, we wouldn't even do anything if he didn't have protection. He was that adamant against not wanting kids. And now he has a kid with a girl he barely even knew. And we were talking again, and he doesn't want to have more kids, especially not with me. And tell me if I'm wrong for being really upset about it.
Guys, this woman is 30 plus years of age. She is still out here screwing around, talking to her ex-boyfriend, trying to have kids with him that she's broken up with and gotten back together with multiple times. And that is the thing about women who are 30 plus years of age and they are still dating, is that it's an absolute mess. A lot of them can get the commitment that they want. They really struggle to get a boyfriend, and it's always the man's fault. So we're going to be kicking off today's episode of women who are hitting the wall damn hard with this woman who is talking in her car, and she's going to be giving us a life update that nobody really asked for. Now, guys, today's video is made by Ministry of Masculinity. I'm going to leave his channel linked in the pinned comments, so make sure you check him out. And let's just take a listen to what some of these 30 plus year old women have to tell us about their dating ventures. Let's take a listen.
And give you the update that no one really asked for. The gentleman from last night did not reach out today, and that's fine. I'm very much a proponent of if he wanted to, he would. This particular gentleman has taken every opportunity in the last week or so that we've been talking to pursue me, and so if he wanted to, he would. If he wanted to ask me out on the second date, he would.
So this is the struggle of modern women when they're still out here trying to date, is they're 30 plus and they want men to commit to them. Now, the problem is, if you're 30 plus years of age as a woman, you are automatically going to be less desirable to a man. So what happens is they go out there, they try and date, they try and secure that Chad that maybe she got some attention from when she was in her 20s, but it just doesn't work anymore. The game is completely over. We're out here, we can't get men to ask them out on a second date, and women will always try and convince you that the man was just lying or he was manipulative and things like this, and maybe he was, but it's damn well easy to tell that so many of these men that these women are meeting out here on dating applications, they do not want relationships. I don't know where these women's fathers were. Maybe they were kicked out of their house when they were younger. Maybe their mothers selected completely wrong to begin with. But any man would tell you, if they had a father figure in the picture, they'd easily be able to tell you who was going to commit and who wouldn't. But every single time, these women are absolutely bamboozled that somebody doesn't commit to them.
So that we've been talking to pursue me, and so if he wanted to, he would. If he wanted to ask me out on the second date, he would. And the fact that he didn't, he didn't. I won't lie and say it doesn't sting. Obviously it does. And I'm the kind of person that's like, so what did I do? Is it my body type? Because I'm 6 feet tall. I'm a size 8'10". I'm solidly mid-size.
This is always super funny when women go, oh, well, the man didn't like me. It must be because I'm not physically attractive enough. And yes, guys do care about physical appearance. Let's not get it twisted. But here's the thing. Men don't just throw you out to the streets and not have a relationship with you because you're 6 foot. This woman is probably thinking, oh, I'm just too tall for the guy. I scared him off, right? Typically, women aren't dating men who are shorter than them anyway. Women seem to get these ideas in their heads because I guarantee you this woman right here, being 30 plus years of age, she has probably disqualified so many men from dating her because they were too short. So now she thinks that men do the same. Men really do not care about this crap. We don't care about how tall you are. Men don't, as far as I know, guys, let me know down in the comments. But I don't think men disqualify women because they're too tall or because they're mid-sized. Men won't date you if you're overweight. That'll be something that men will say, no, thank you, I'm not interested in. But if you're mid-sized and you're 6 foot, no dude's really going to give a damn, at least as far as I understand it. So this stuff is just absolutely hilarious. Maybe it's because of my body type. Maybe it's because of this. Maybe it's because of that. And whatever they say, it's always wrong. I just intimidate men. We've all heard that one before. Let's keep going.
And I'm the kind of person that's like, so what did I do? Is it my body type? Because I'm 6 feet tall. I'm a size 8'10". I'm solidly mid-size, not a size 0. Probably not, right? But that's like first thing my mind goes to, which is terrible and I hate it. And even though I was fine last night, really, if we went out again or if we didn't, but it doesn't make it sting any less. So anyways, that's the update.
So this woman went out on a date. Before we continue into the next clip here, this woman went out on a date. He finally got her out on a date. He had his fun, and then he stopped talking to her. All right. And women will be like, well, I'm the victim. This absolutely sucks. My feelings are hurt. Why won't men date me? But you've got to consider for a moment that she's 30 plus years of age. She's been out here dating for probably over a decade, and she still hasn't found a man. Right. So what happens is they get to the end of the line and they're like, wait a minute, why aren't men picking me anymore? Where did the men who are proposing relationships, where did these guys go? Right. Even though they're still there, but of course they don't meet her standards. So next up, we have this woman that we played in the intro, and this woman is just a psycho, I think. And so she's telling us that she resumed talking to her. This woman's over 30 as well, by the way, covered in tattoos. And she has resumed recently talking to her ex-boyfriend, and now she's pissed because he has a kid, and the kid isn't to her. So she's annoyed that he didn't have the kid with her. So let me just bring this down a little bit, and then we'll take a listen and dissect this. We've also got another clip lined up as well. Let me just jump scare you a minute. We got this one lined up, but I won't scare you too much. We'll jump into that in a minute. Let's take a listen.
So a little while back, I started talking to my ex again. Someone I dated literally 10 years ago, and then again 3 years ago, and now we have a kid.
Right, so this is... A lot of people think I'm joking when I talk about this, and I say that women will have bedroom fun with dudes without the expectation of a relationship. They'll just chase one dude for literally a decade, many months, weeks, months, years, etc. And they'll always have that one damn guy that they go back to. And this is her guy that she's referring to here. So she saw him 10 years ago. She saw him 3 years ago. I would guarantee you guys that honestly, it's probably gone on throughout that entire duration. And she says ex-boyfriend, but I really doubt that she had a relationship out of him at least more than once. I would be really quite surprised, because when these women say, let's cut the nonsense, guys, talking to basically just means having fun with the dude. You have no relationship, you have no strings attached, and now we're crying about the situation. It amazes me, guys, that women they won't push for commitment up front. And the reason why they don't push for commitment up front is because they say it's because they're empathetic and they're caring and they don't want to stress him out and all of this kind of stuff. The real reason is that women don't push for relationships from these dudes because they know that they can't get them, right? They want to weasel their way in after months of dating, and then they'll finally get a relationship from him. But that's not how it works. If you can't get a relationship from a man up front, you can't afford him. That's just the way it goes.
And it shouldn't bother me, but our entire relationship, we wouldn't even do anything if he didn't have protection. He was that adamant against not wanting kids.
I love how the modern day media will always present the men as being the ones who are going out here just having kids randomly and making really stupid decisions. But I would argue, guys, that actually a great deal of women, when they're attracted to the dude, they'll risk having children with him. I'm so sick of hearing this narrative of like dudes are out here and they've got like 5 baby mothers and all of this sort of thing. Guys, I think it's way more common, at least in my mind, that so many women have kids to different dudes these days. It's absolutely crazy. Yes, there are dudes who go out there and they have their fun and they run rampant and they have multiple baby mothers and all of this sort of thing. But so many of these girls, if they're highly attracted to the dude, they'll risk having a kid even if they're in no position to have one. Even if the guy's clearly not going to stick around or he's a bad choice, they'll risk it, absolutely.
Wanting kids. And now he has a kid with a girl he literally even knew. And we were talking again, and he doesn't want to have more kids. Especially not with me. And tell me if I'm wrong for being really upset about it. Am I wrong?
It's just crazy. Isn't it just absolutely crazy? This woman's like borderline in tears. She's probably faking the tears. But she's upset because she can't have kids with this dude now. Because he doesn't want to have kids with her. Right? Then again, I want you guys to let this sink in for a second. Even though this woman is over the age of 30, she should probably be checked into some sort of mental institution, That won't stop her from having options, right? You see, it's not like a man, right? A man lives in a very, very different reality. Because a man can be completely psychotic, make no sense, take no care of their body, never have been in the gym once in their life, and they will never find the quote-unquote love of their life. But you'll find some woman who's completely psychotic, who dates ex-boyfriends for multiple years at a time, and she will still have a great deal of options. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call reality. But you know what else we call reality? Modern day women are just having absolutely no idea how to date. So let's jump into this next one here. We've actually got 2 more clips to cover. And this is, I don't even want to pull it up, man. Just a fair warning, this is insanely cringe. This is a video here of, again, this is a 30-plus-year-old woman. All of these women in this video are 30-plus, I believe. See, look how crazy this is, by the way. She's got makeup on, and then she's got a filter over the top of this. And I would assume that she's a dating coach because she's like these tips and things, like 3 powerful signs that she's a high value woman. I'm so sick of hearing this high value word, man. Really sick of it. But yeah, let's take a listen to what this 30-plus-year-old dating coach has to say. And bear in mind, a lot of these women who are 30-plus-year-old dating coaches, they are quote unquote coaches to other 30-year-old women. So let's take a listen.
She's not judgmental. She never judges a book by its cover and always keeps an open mind, because she knows that the more you judge others, the more you judge yourself. 2, she's really good at listening. A high-value woman knows the importance of giving someone her full attention, and she's easy to talk to. She listens without judging, and always gives people the freedom to find their own solutions to their problems.
This is just incredibly creepy. I don't know, there's something very eerie about someone just staring straight at the camera, doing this ASMR type video, talking to you about what a high value woman is. And also, none of it really makes sense, right? A woman, she's good at listening and she doesn't judge people. Is that what we're getting at here? I swear to you guys, if you were to actually make a video and you were genuinely trying to give advice to women on perhaps how they could actually find the man of their dreams, or if you were to actually give women dating advice that would actually help them, they would hate it. They would absolutely dislike it. I think that's one of the reasons why women are lied to so much, is because if you tell them the truth about certain things, they don't want to hear it. They'll just roast you. They'll call you names. They'll call you all sorts of different things. They'll try and cancel you at your job. They'll ring up your employer and say that you're a bad man, and all of a sudden you won't have income anymore. This is the women will be incredibly petty, or at least some of them will be, if you get on there and you try and tell them the truth. That's why we end up with videos like this, which say essentially nothing. Let's continue.
Gives people the freedom to find their own solutions to their problems. And number 3, she has a kind heart. Compassion and kindness is one of the most powerful signs of a high-value woman.
See, I can actually agree with some of these things, like compassion and kindness. I just find the video incredibly creepy. But speaking of creepy, let's jump into the next one here. And this is yet another woman in her car, if I can actually set it up correctly. So this is a woman who's going to tell us a dating horror story time. I don't know why, guys, before you ask me, I don't know why these women post these dating story times on the internet for everybody to see. Actually, I do. It's for attention, but I just don't understand why people think the attention is worth it. I could not imagine picking up my cell phone, right? Just picking up my phone, whipping it out, putting it on the dash of my car, and driving and ranting about my dating woes. Like, that would never, I would never do that in a million years. But these people, this is like typical Sunday to them, I swear. So dating nightmare story time. 30-plus-year-old woman dating. Here we go.
Never dating again after my last experience. So I've basically been single for about 10 years. I've had some boyfriends on and off, 3 months, 6 months here and there, but...
Right, so you haven't been single for 10 years. You've still been chasing chads. You've still been ending up in dudes' beds, maybe having short-term relationships. You've just been unsuccessful. You haven't been single the entire time. You've just failed miserably. Can we please call this for what it is? Every time you hear a woman say, I've been single for X years, that doesn't actually mean that they haven't been screwing around the entire time. I feel the need to say that every single time, because these women won't always tell you. They'll be like, yeah, I've been going out there, you've been trying the dating, but nothing's worked. I'm the victim, everything sucks, men suck, all of this stuff. But what they won't tell you is that they just end up in dude after dude's bed. And the reason why dating sucks for them is because they won't actually go out with a dude who is on their level. They always want a man who's above them. Ergo, they are always single, quote unquote.
Mainly, I've been single, so I've been on the apps for a long time. And this last go-round was probably the last time. I don't think I'm ever going to download Hinge, Bumble, whatever, other apps there are ever again.
I guarantee you guys she absolutely will. Again, this is a staple that these women say in every single video, because I've been single for X amount of years. Dating applications suck. I will never get them again. And here's my dating story about how a man mistreated me and about how hard it is for women to date. Right? You can always find these elements, or at least a few of them, in every single one of these videos.
So let me tell you the story, and I have tons of screenshots and texts and everything if you guys want to see them. But anyway, so it started out, I joined Hinge, and then the next day a guy messaged me that he wanted to meet up, so we ended up meeting up and we went to a soccer game.
So let's pause it here because she's deliberately not divulging things here. Now, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I do not have Hinge downloaded on my phone, but with these dating applications, as far as I know, the woman has to match the man too, right? So it's not like she just got on there and then some random man matched her. What happened is she got on this application and then they matched with each other, and then he would have sent her a message. So she's completely skipping out on the part where she was at least a little bit physically attracted to him, or it looked like he had money, one of the two. So she matched with him and then he messaged. So let's not forget that. She just tried to skip over that. Let's play that again.
Hinge thing if you guys want to see them. But anyway, so it started out, I joined Hinge, and then the next day a guy messaged me that he wanted to meet up, so we ended up meeting up and we went to a soccer game that night. And so I'd only had Hinge for about 24 hours maybe.
Isn't it crazy how women who are 30 plus years of age, and to completely roast this woman right here, but she's not the most attractive individual, and she can get on a dating application and within a day she can go out on a date with some dude that she finds at least moderately attractive, or in some capacity at least. Maybe she's attracted to his money, maybe she's actually physically attracted to him. A lot of these women who are 30 plus years of age and dating, they will go out on dates with dudes who they think that can financially provide for them, even if they're not attracted to them. This is absolutely disgusting, by the way. Women will quite literally go out on dates with men that they have no physical interest in whatsoever, and so the dude has to pay for everything. And maybe they eventually get in a relationship and nothing will ever happen there in the intimate part of the relationship. And it's just a complete screw over for the man. But anyway, she's gone out on this date. And I want you guys to also notice that she is saying that she's willing to share screenshots here. Again, very morbid kind of person to be showing personal screenshots with people on the internet. I really don't like it when people, especially without the permission of other people, just flash up screenshots. I think it's really bad faith. This reminds me of videos where you have wives and they'll show some phone call that they had with their husband. This is nobody else's business, but she decides to air it out all on the internet, offering to show screenshots and things like this. I miss the days, guys, when people kept crap to themselves. Personal things, they would actually be personal.
That night, and I'd only had Hinge for about 24 hours, maybe not even. Anyway, and we hit it off. It was really fun. The game was great. He was a gentleman. He paid for everything, which I don't ask for. I can pay for myself, but he did. So it was nice. And then afterwards, we went out and got some drinks, and it was a good time, but I started to notice some undertones with everything he said.
So at this point, she realizes that the reason this man has gone out on this quote-unquote date with her is because he wants to have some fun with her. And I think the reason why women make videos like this and they bring up these situations is because they want you to perceive them as valuable. Look how much attention I get from a man, right? Look what this man wants to do with me. Look how much of a creep he is. And they think that by lowering somebody else's status, by trash talking them on the internet, that it's going to raise her status. I always really dislike it when women do this. They'll put a man down, and hey, they might even have the right to put the man down. I still don't think publicly doing this crap is the right way to go about it. I don't know. I personally think it's cringe. Maybe have a word with the guy, or just, I don't know, leave like an adult. Anyway, they always seem to put down the dude in order to lift up their status. And sometimes as well, if you speak to the guy, they have a completely different version of events to what the woman is actually saying.
Which kind of bothered me, but I was like, well, maybe he's just tipsy or excited, or I don't know. And he also kept saying, though, which did bother me, that he wanted me to come back to his house with him that night. And I'm like, no, dude, I don't know you. You're a stranger to me. I'm not going to go back to your place. Even though we're getting along, that doesn't mean anything. So anyway, after that, we texted for a few days, decided to go on another date. We went out to dinner.
So again, let's talk about this for a second. This guy was giving her the complete wrong vibes. He was clearly just there for some fun. And then what does she do, guys? Rather than just be like, hey, listen, this is something that I'm not really comfortable with. She keeps going on the dates with him. She keeps seeing him, right? So, oh, he's a creeper. He does that. But you know what? I texted him for days on end. I texted him for like 4 days. And then I decided to go out on a date with him again. And I just want to mention this as well, guys. Please understand that if you're a very attractive man, if you are attractive to the woman, she won't make you wait multiple dates. That's not how this works. I guarantee you this woman has went out on quote-unquote dates with dudes before, and they haven't had to go out on multiple dates with her, right? She would just somehow end up at his house on the first date. Women will always try and, excuse me, I'm losing my voice here. These women always try and like virtue signal that they're not that type of girl, right? They don't do these particular behaviors. It's like exception managing, right? They want you to perceive them a certain way, so they lie to you. Right? Or at least they lie to the man that they're dating and they say, nah, you've got to take me out on at least 3 dates. But the man before that, or the attractive men, they don't have to take her out on any dates at all.
For a few days, decided to go on another date. We went out to dinner, went to a sushi place, so we saw a sushi bar, so we're like right next to each other. And while we were there, he tries to full on like make out with me, sitting at a sushi bar. No way, sir. Stop it. I'm not a PDA person, and he kept saying he was, which is fine. Like, you can want to do PDA, but like, don't make out like that at a sushi bar. That's disgusting.
I actually agree with this woman. I think that this stuff can be better left to private situations. I just find the video that she's making to be incredibly cringe.
At a sushi bar. That's disgusting. We're sitting right next to other people too. Gross. Anyway, and then afterwards we went out and got some drinks, and that was when he started to really get sexual and talk about, the conversation just kept going back to sex. And then at one point he told me I should get on birth control because we're going to have a lot of fun in this relationship.
Here's the thing that I don't understand about this situation. Is if this man is like this, and he's been like this from the beginning, and I guarantee you if this man was actually this way, like this woman is saying that he is, he would be portraying this in text also. If this is such an issue for you, why are you continuing to see him? It's absolutely wild to me, guys, how you can have people and they'll complain about an issue, and you might sit there and go, that's a valid issue. I understand. That's a bit cringe. That shouldn't happen. Why are you continuing to put yourself in that situation? This is like someone who's overweight, and then they're sitting there complaining about being overweight, and then you catch them just munching fries every 2 seconds. Do we really dislike being overweight? You can't dislike it that much because you're still eating the fries. I don't understand these situations. We just always have to be in here, always have to be the victim. And I don't know, maybe they're just doing this to make TikTok content to get more attention. Maybe they're making the whole thing up. I don't really care. I find it cringe. Guys, that is dating over 30 for women. Absolutely fantastic stuff. We are going to be leaving it there. Make sure to leave your thoughts, your comments, and I will see you all in the next one. Oh, and by the way, guys, don't forget to check out Ministry of Masculinity. I think he put together these clips for me to cover today. I think I have covered some of these in the past. I'm not quite sure. It has been a minute, but definitely a lot of cringe here today. I'm going to leave his channel linked in the pinned comment. Make sure you take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next episode. Peace.